Hey, this is Patch and Dash coming at you with a list of some things you should probably be keeping in your car.
That's right. On the next installment of roadside safety tips for the young adults, here's all the things that I keep in my truck at all times, and most of these things I think you should keep in your car at all times also. First things first, I always have a fire extinguisher in my car. This is a pretty long one. You can get even smaller ones than this depending on the size of the car that you have. This one happens to fit in my back seat really nicely. It stores away tidily. So I have this because if for some reason there's a fire in my engine compartment, I can put my own fire out. Or I have been driving down the road on a couple of occasions, believe it or not, and other people's cars are on fire and I can pull over and help them out. Always a good thing to have in your car. Safety first. Speaking of safety, I always have a first aid kit for that exact same reason. I like to drive up to Tahoe and go snowboarding a lot. So sometimes I see people on the side of the road, or if I get stuck on the side of the road, I always want to make sure I have a first aid kit. This is a pretty small one, but I have a more extensive one right here too. I have a truck, so I have a lot of room to store things. Maybe yours is going to have to be a little bit smaller based on the size of your car, but again, I drive up to Tahoe a lot. So I always have an ice scraper for my windshield. Flashlight, very important. Not only do I drive at night, but sometimes there's stuff that gets stuck underneath my car or on my car or something like that, and I have to take a peek inside. Sometimes I even have to change a spare tire. For those of you who watched the first video in our roadside safety series, then you'll know how to change a tire too, but you'll always need a flashlight if it's dark outside. Speaking of changing tires, I have my jack and all my jack accessories. Those are also underneath the car in the back seat. Yours could be in your trunk. They could be on the back underneath one of your seats. They could be pretty much anywhere in your car. So it's always a good idea to have your owner's manual. And in the back of your owner's manual, it'll show you right where all those things are located and how to use them. Keep this thing in your car for your own car. I have a blanket in my car, not to keep warm, of course, but if I have to crawl into my car for any reason, like say you're driving down the road and you run over something and it gets twisted around your wheel or your axle, or something gets stuck underneath your car, you can lay down a blanket just in case you're on your way to somewhere fancy and you just happen to have some nice clothes on, you don't want to get them dirty. Blanket, very helpful. And if you go on a picnic and you forget a blanket, you can always have your blanket out. I keep rags for my hands, and I also keep Costco baby wipes for my hands anytime they get dirty, or if I ever have to eat in my car, if I'm in a big hurry, I always have wipes in my car.
Or
Or if you secretly really have to go really bad and you're on a road trip and you have to pull over, you know what I'm talking about. All right, I keep gloves in my car, these little blue gloves. Also, same reason, just to stay clean if I have to do any minor repairs. Like I said, I go snowboarding a lot, so I keep these kind of straps in my car at all times. Believe it or not, I've had to pull people out of the snow on the side of the road 3 times. And I just keep these straps. They're really useful for cargo, anything on top of the car, but also to help pull you out if you ever get stuck. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Did I forget anything, Patch?
well, what's this crazy looking thing?
Oh, you're right. So, on my model car, I have a lug nut, which is this thing right here. I have a locking lug nut, so nobody can just take off all my lug nuts and steal my sweet wheels. That's what this thing's for. That unlocks it and allows the wheels to be taken off, just in case I have to change my tire.
How about that thing right there?
Oh, glad you asked. This is an air pressure gauge. Now, it doesn't work quite like that, but if I put it on my tire, it shows me how much air I have in my tire. That is important because in my car, a light will come on and say that I have low air pressure, and I can check it and then drive to a gas station and put new air in my tire. So I always have one of these in my glove box too. And in our next installment of roadside safety, we're going to talk a little bit about what to do in case you're in an accident. So in my glove box, I always have an ink pen and a pencil and a pad of paper. You'll learn more about that later.